Hello everyone and welcome back to Sports Today. The FIFA World Cup is reaching its business end. Now we only have two matches left, the third place playoff and the final. And to discuss the third place playoff and look at the chances of both the teams, Croatia and Morocco, I'm joined today by Dalima Chhibber. Dalima, thanks for joining us. First off, if we have to actually discuss this match, and I think you or many others might disagree with what I'm having to say, but battle of the lovable underdogs between Croatia, Morocco, both of them I think wowed a lot of fans, won hearts. Having to settle for a third place playoff now, how would that be weighing on their minds?
First of all, to start with, I'm going to say that if we have to talk about the real underdogs that we've been able to witness in a really long time in a footballing stage or at a world stage, that has to be Morocco. For me, I wouldn't really consider Croatia as an actual underdog because we know they do come from having played a final in 2018. So they kind of have that experience. They've reached this level. So I feel like probably the pressure is going to be more on Morocco because they've had great performances. Like everybody around the world has been talking that they've been able to win hearts, even though not a medal yet, but maybe again, they could be going home with a bronze medal and they could be still going back home being in the top three. And again, that is going to be a huge achievement because again, they've made history, they have set some records, and it's a very young team. Like Morocco is a very young team, and then we know that they're really known to be very defensive, and against France they showed us that they actually have that attacking capacity, and that Croatia will be in for a treat in the third place playoffs. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how both the teams plan because they're very similar in a lot of things.
Yeah, actually, I was interesting you mentioned that because that's what I was coming to next. Both teams really have kind of relied on control, but in different ways. Whereas with Croatia, you kind of have the midfield battle. Their midfield trios, their strength.
Okay.
With Croatia, Morocco, they have been very solid defensively and look to ping on the counter. So really, can we expect a tight match? And more importantly, who wins if it goes to pens? Because both have goalkeepers who are fantastic in shootouts.
I think if it goes to penalty shootouts, I think Croatia kind of has an edge, having, and I say that because they're unbeaten in their past 5 or 6.
Played 4-1-4.
Yeah. So I feel like Croatia might have that edge because they have those technical finishers when it comes to penalty shootouts, and confidence is a big element when it comes to penalty shootouts. But again, Morocco and Croatia both have amazing goalkeepers. They have certain amount of clean sheets in their name. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how both the teams line up and how they strategize against each other to clinch that last title that they could possibly walk out with in a positive way. So it's going to be quite interesting, having known that both of them do kind of have same tactical plans, same strategies, but again, what Morocco showed us in the last game against France was something that we hadn't seen. So there's definitely so much more room for improvement, but again, so many positives to take from the last games that they played and to build off of that.
And obviously I think if you're looking at it from a Croatian standpoint, you'd want to be giving a certain Luka Modric, who would in all likelihood be playing his last World Cup game, probably not an international game, give him a fitting send-off because again, he was so key to them even making the finals in 2018. Even this year, he's aged 4 years since that time, but playing exactly the same way was absolutely their driving force. Would they be playing for, how we've seen Argentina play for Messi, we saw Portugal play for Ronaldo? Are Croatia going to be playing for Modric and actually try and give him that best send-off possible?
I am sure, because again, when we talk about Luka Modric, he's probably been one of the best midfielders, and he has done and he's achieved a lot with Real Madrid, and even with his national team, he seems to be doing great. He's the Golden Ball winner from the last World Cup in 2018. So, he's had some amazing contribution and he's been able to carry the team as a leader, as the captain. He was the captain in 2018. He's the captain of the team in this World Cup as well. And to be able to make it to the semi-final, like I say, the road is always really long. And for Croatia to be able to reach this far, consecutively, one after the other World Cup, I think it's pretty amazing. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to be playing for him and they would want to give him a good send-off before his World Cup run actually actually comes to an end.
Right, but even, speaking about that, I think they're going to be up against a Croatia, on a Morocco side, who themselves have been making a lot of history. Remember, first Arab nation to make it to the quarterfinals and then semi-finals, first nation from Africa to make it to the semi-finals of a World Cup. They too would have been disappointed in the manner in which they went out, but now again stand on the cusp of making history, become the first African team to actually get a third place finish. And we know that going forward, they know to make chances.
Right.
The conversion can be a little tricky, but take one or two of the chances against Croatia and they might just be in the game.
They could be. They definitely could be, because again, like we saw what kind of a heartbreak it was for the team to not be able to get there after having worked so hard and actually beat some of the footballing giants. So I feel like, they're going to be coming with full force. But again, when I say like, when I talk about full force, it's going to be both the teams. But because again, like for some, when we talk about Croatia, it is and Morocco is quite a younger side, and they would still have a lot to build off of it. But I think coming into the game, it might just mean a lot more for Croatia than it could mean for Morocco. But again, like having said that, Morocco will also come out, because again, there's so much emotion there. They've already made history, and I'm sure they would want one last achievement to their name, and they would want to take something back home. So it's going to be interesting to watch, because again, like there's going to be so much at stake, and on a given day, whoever performs is going to take that third place home. So, and
lastly, obviously, I'll just one more question before I put you in a very uncomfortable spot. You can guess what that means.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about young players, obviously both teams, like we say Croatia is the more experienced, but they have someone like Guardiola, very young player who's marshaled their defense. Then you look at Morocco, they have someone like an Nesiri and others who have done so well for them. Even I'm forgetting the holding midfielder's name. I'm forgetting
Amrabat.
Amrabat, another one. Yes, Amrabat, another one who's done really, really well for them. Do you think actually it could very well be a younger player swinging it for either of these sides? Considering again, third place playoff, you don't have as much to lose as a final.
Yeah, and I think we talk about the young blood and we talk about the young energy and the importance of it, and definitely it does count at the end of the day. But like I said, Croatia being an experienced side at this level under this pressure, that does count in somewhere. But again, a lot of young players in both the teams, and a lot of young blood, and again, so much passion in both the teams. So again, both of them will be coming out to prove a point, and then and I know, even though Morocco, maybe if they're not able to get what they want, they would have another FIFA World Cup coming their way, and probably by then we're going to see another side of Morocco, and a much better, experienced yet young side. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how both the teams come out for this game, and whoever takes that third place home. Right.
So now to put you in the very uncomfortable spot, make a prediction and a scoreline.
I think I'm going to go with Morocco.
Oh.
And I'm going to predict a 2-0 scoreline for Morocco.
2-0. So you think Croatia might not even be able to score? Wow. Ooh.
Could be a possibility. You never know.
So if I have to say, I'll just say I think this match, I have a sneaky suspicion it'll be close.
Yeah.
But 1-0 Morocco.
1-0.
I think this match has a 1-0 written all over for either side. I'm giving a slight edge to Morocco.
Okay.
Let's see which of us is right. Maybe neither of us are, because we both picked the same winner. So let's see. We'll know for sure once it is time for that third place playoff. This is it from us, from me and Dalima. Thank you all so much for joining us here at Sports Today. Don't forget, if you enjoy what it is that we do, if you've enjoyed our World Cup coverage, show us your love, like, share, subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Leave us a comment. You always love reading your comments. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also download the SportsTech app, where you get all of the World Cup highlights free of cost. What are you waiting for? Download it now. So on behalf of Dalima and me, Shane Reyes, this is us signing off. Thank you and bye-bye.